exclusive content for the PlayStation. I've talked about Saints Row the Third in my Microsoft briefing. If you haven't seen that one, basically all the same stuff is there that they showed, except for the fact that Saints Row is going to have some exclusive content. Then they talked about Star Trek 2012. Paramount is going to release Star Trek 2012 on PlayStation. It seems like it's going to be an exclusive. And Paramount will be releasing a Star Trek themed wand. So make sure that if you are a Trekkie, you may want to get on that Star Trek themed wand. All we know about that, besides seeing the trailer, is that's due to come out sometime 2012. Alright, then they talked about the game EA's making called SSX. Back in the day, there was a game called SSX Tricky, which is what this is coming from. I'm excited to see SSX. I covered SSX in a great detail also on Microsoft Briefing because that's where it was first seen. They didn't really say anything more about it at the PlayStation conference other than that it's going to also have some exclusive content. So if you get SSX for the PlayStation 3, you're going to get a death race or death-defying type race down Mount Fuji. Now, if you remember anything I said in my Microsoft briefing, is this game is going to be phenomenal because they're actually hooked up with NASA so that they can use satellites and all that good stuff so they can pinpoint exactly where you go. So there's no place in the world that they can't drop you. So it's going to be phenomenal. So when these say Mount Fuji, they recreate that and they're actually dropping you in Mount Fuji, and they're actually, you know, controlling the terrain. It's just like Mount Fuji in the whole nine. But you're only going to get that Mount Fuji race if you get it for PlayStation 3. It is exclusive content only. Same for Need for Speed on the Run. I covered that again, grave detail on Microsoft briefing. They didn't say anything different about the PlayStation 3 than what I've already said, other than if you buy for the PlayStation 3, you're going to get a special disc that's going to have 7 special cars on there that only you who will have it on PlayStation 3 will have access to. Also, Battlefield 3. Again, not a huge amount of content came out from that one, other than what I've already said. But that game is going to have a second game called 1943 for free on the same disc. They're going to use the extra space on the Blu-ray disc to give you a second game. Again, exclusive only to PlayStation 3. Then they want to jump in a little bit and start talking about mobile gaming, moving on up towards what we was calling the NGP, which is the new generation portable, but the natural name is PlayStation Vita. So before they got there, they talked about PlayStation Suite. So I was at the press conference live last year in 2010, and I do know that, you know, they brought Kevin Butler out and the whole nine because of the fact that PlayStation kind of had a chip on their shoulder that the iPhone has been named and is still named the #1 portable gaming device. So they wanted to know how they were going to be able to take that back. They were kind of set it back that they actually make a gaming system and that all these phones is coming out and taking over. Well, I guess this year PlayStation went by the motto of you can't beat them, join them, and that's what they're doing with their PlayStation Suite. Right now they have it for Android phones and all Android tablets, and it's going to get content. So from the way it sounds is you're going to be able to play PlayStation games on your Android phone and tablet. They're still working with the others. I'm sure pretty soon it's going to migrate over to the iPhone and any other phone they can get their hands on. So that's going to be the PlayStation Suite. And what they're looking at doing from there, which is I think is a smart marketing move, is bringing some people over from the phone world and moving them into the PlayStation portable world, or even the PS3 world. But then they went and talked a little bit about the PlayStation Vita, which is the new portable gaming system that is going to be the successor of the PSP. From some things I'll call it has dual touch, dual cameras. It has an OLED screen, which is a phenomenal looking screen. 6-axle touch, so 6-axle. So when you rotate that, you can rotate it in the whole 9 yards. Touch screen. It has a Wi-Fi and 3G models. They've announced, I know everybody's going to groan like they did at the press conference, but it has been stated, and as far as all the stats, I guess it still says that AT&T is the fastest 3G network that is available. Everybody partners with them, and PlayStation 3 is not going to be any different. Sony's going to partner with AT&T to provide wireless 3G networking for the Vita, because it is very important, as Jack Tretton and Kai was saying, that you can keep this thing connected at all times. The good news is, if you are an AT&T subscriber, you already have an account with them, it's going to cost you nothing to power this from 3G, because you can use all of the available, which is hundreds of them, hotspots all over the world to power your Vita up. So free access for AT&T customers hotspots. You're going to get party voice chat over a headset or over the built-in microphone that the Vita will have. There's going to be a new social networking called Near that they're going to be implementing. You can compare trophies, you can share content, you can talk with people, the whole nine. This, they say, is going to change how people think about mobile gaming. From what I've seen of it, the system looks absolutely phenomenal. Totally, it's the best handheld that's going to be on the market when it does come out. They did do an Uncharted game for it called Uncharted Golden Abyss. They have a thing called painting edges in this, so it uses the touchscreen. So basically, if he's going from ledge to ledge, or if there's just like a trail of ledge, you just take your finger and you can just paint where you want him to go, and Drake will follow that line. All of the controls is unique just to Vita, so they're using everything. They didn't have time to show us everything that was there, but they were showing people in the demos if they went to play it after the press conference. But like I said, a lot of touching. The whole back of the Vita is a touchpad, a touch screen. That was showed off by Mod Nation Racers when they came out with their thing, how they was making mountains grow and the whole nine just by tapping their fingers on the back of that. Okay. Then Ruin, people came out and made Ruin. It's a social action RPG that's for the Vita. It has, just like in the RPG, multiple classes, a lot of loot, deep advancement. Combat is going to test your reflexes. So it's not going to be just hit the X button and then wait for it to happen. No, you're actually going to be fighting. When you hit the X button, it's going to be instant. So it's going to test your reflexes as far as how quick you can press the button versus blocking the whole 9 yards. The other players you see in that game is going to be your rivals. So you can choose if you want to help them out, if you want to hinder them, or if you want to hurt them. If you buy Ruin for the Vita, you're going to get a PS3 SKU that will be seamless and will pick up exactly where you left off. And they demonstrated that, what I think is the world's best thing. So for instance, if you're playing Ruin and you're out about sitting at the store, or whatever, and you come home and you decide you want to switch over to your PS3, you can pause the game and it stores your game at that point up in the cloud. Then when you turn your PS3 on and you boot up the game, it picks up exactly right where you left off seamlessly. That's it. And then when you're done with that and you turn it off, you want to go back to your Vita, same thing. It's a seamless transition. So I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be, I think that's just the awesome thing. That's what gaming actually needs. Plus, they say you want to keep this on you at all times if possible, because of a lot of things that takes place. Like if somebody decides to storm your fort or your base where you are at, the quicker that you can respond to that and take care of it, the more points that you can score and the less damage is done to you in the whole nine. Then again, as I had alluded to before, Mod Nation Racers came out. That they said this is not a port. It is an entirely new for Vita. So it's not going to be a PS port. It's entirely new for Vita. They do have an all-new track editor, which all you got to do to make your track is pick your track and you just draw a track with your finger, and that's it. I thought that was pretty cool. You just touch the screen to edit. So if you go to edit the track, some icons will come up, like if you want turns or jumps or whatever. All you do is basically just touch it, and then you can put it in place wherever you want it. Very easy, very quick. Like I said before, you can make mountains on the back of your hand, or from the back just by your fingers. So the faster you touch or swipe across, the bigger the mountain becomes. If you depress in the front of it, then the mountain goes down. So that was cool, and so I was really impressed with the Vita. If you do get Mod Nation Racers, before I forget, the owners, you'll be able to access over 2 million tracks already from the PS3 from day one. So you can already have a lot of tracks that are going to be sucked into the Vita right away. Then they typed about Wipeout 2048 is going to have cross-play using Vita or PS3, and cloud saves and content sharing. So they didn't show a lot about that. They just talked about, so the trailer just talked about how you're going to be able to cross-platform. And it's all about crossing platforms with the Vita, and that's what they're trying to do. Again, they say Little Big Planet on Vita is going to revolutionize portable gaming. They expanded Little Big Planet, as I said earlier, for Vita controls. So to make sure it gets everything it's looking for. Then they came out and they made the big announcement. Had the developers there, one from Japan, that said Street Fighter Cross Tekken is the name of the game. They were making it for the PlayStation 3, but they've decided also to release it for the PlayStation Vita as well. And as a surprise, they've also included Cole from Infamous in the fighters. And they showed a little bit of how Cole's going to fight in the game. He has unique electrical and flying moves, and it looked very good. So we look forward to that. No release dates on any of this stuff that I've talked about so far. They didn't give us any of those. And the most astonishing thing is that they said that every publisher has signed up to make games for Vita. So I think that's phenomenal. So all your favorite games may end up coming to Vita because the thing is way powerful enough to handle it. If it can handle Uncharted, it can handle probably just about anything. The Vita is due to be released holiday 2011. Your price point is, if you want the Wi-Fi only model, it's going to cost you $249. And if you want the 3G Wi-Fi model, it's going to cost you $299. So that was about the gist of the PlayStation conference. Let me throw something out though about the pricing point and see what you guys think. And talking to a friend of mine, I told him about how the price point was, and he kind of sort of felt that the price point was still a little bit too high. He thought that maybe the price point should have been for the Wi-Fi only about $199, and for the Wi-Fi plus 3G, make that about maybe $249. Because of all the problems that PlayStation has had, he still feels a little bit, not that he's not happy with the welcome back package, but that there should be a little bit more leeway given. So tell me if you agree with him. Do you think that the price point of the PlayStation Vita, for all that it has, dual sticks, 6 axes, touch screen, whole back is a touch screen, do you think it's too much money? Do you think that the brand new display, the 3D display they say that they've created to save money, do you think that that's still too high at a $500 price point? Let me know what you think down below. I think overall the conference was good. They did exactly what I expected them to do. They showed the 3D, which Sony is really committed to for the PlayStation 3, and we saw a lot more move stuff. I think we have to get used to the fact that these companies who's making move-based gaming or motion-based games is going to put a lot of more emphasis on their motion-based gaming components now because they're new. But all in all, I think it was a good conference, especially looking at what PlayStation has been through in the last couple of months. So we'll see how it all pans out. You guys know how to reach me, CenaCenasCorner.com. You can leave me comments right down here below. Reach me on Facebook at Facebook.com/Cena's Corner 1101. Twitter, Cena5401. Website is CenasCorner.com. So that's it, guys. I'm going to go get a little bit of sleep so I can get up for the Nintendo conference in the morning. So until next time, peace, love, keep rocking out, and I'll catch you guys the next time.